WWE renames the NXT TNA Invasion event. Plus, we have multiple title matches announced for NXT versus TNA. And WWE are charging over $11,000 for tickets to see John Cena's final match. It's all in the Cultaholic Wrestling news right now. So we talked yesterday how WWE faced criticism over the name Invasion for their show next Tuesday. The criticism comes from Israel Hayom, who reports that putting on an event called Invasion on the second anniversary of the Hamas terror attacks on Israel shows what they call as extreme insensitivity, and WWE opting for that name on that date is a preposterous decision. WWE has responded to that, haven't they,
Yes,
Fraser?
during last night's NXT, they responded by renaming the show. Obviously, it was TNA NXT TNA Invasion. It is now NXT Cross TNA Showdown. The new name and logo was revealed on last night's episode of NXT. Now, it looks very, very similar to the old logo. Instead of saying Invasion, it says Showdown with a big W instead of a big V in the middle there. It was announced during the segment, The Summit, the NXT TNA Summit, Santino Marella saying, "It's not an invasion. We're not here to invade. We've been working together for such a long time, for a few months now. It is more of a showdown."
And the summit itself is what a lot of people were talking about that dominated the show last night. We had, at the very beginning, the reveal of the team captains for what we're going to see at Showdown, which is 2 Survivor Series style matches, among some title matches as well. And then we had the teams revealed at the very end. Let's get into those title matches first of all. Taking place at Showdown next week, the NXT North American champion Ethan Page is going to put the title on the line against Mustafa Ali. Really great promo by Ali here.
Oh, absolutely. Calling back to the time of the fact that he was promised an NXT North American title shot right before he was released by the company. It was literally scheduled between him and Dominic Mysterio. And then he was released in the days leading up to that match. And I was like, well, that's weird. Why are you doing that? He was in a title match. He's in a title feud at the moment. He's finally 2 years later getting that title match, this time against Ethan Page. This is going to be a really fun match. I think Ali is very well deserving of this opportunity, and it feels like one that TNA might actually win. I feel like they might get one over on NXT here and get that title away from NXT.
See, I thought in terms of where they might win, I thought it might be this next match that they announced. The TNA Tag Team titles on the line. It's going to be the Hardys defending against NXT Tag Team Champions Dark State. Not the kind of return match for the Hardys I would have hoped for.
Hey, we've seen the Fraxium match with them. We've seen that one.
Yeah, I guess the Fraxium match happened.
This is to give the Hardys an easy win over Dark State. Unfortunately, I feel like Dark State has been thrown to the deep end there. They've gone, yep, everyone knows you're losing. It's both for the NXT and TNA title, so both are on the line. And I feel like this is definitely the route to get the Hardys more involved in this storyline. Give them an NXT title run to complete their full set of all titles, and they're going into this match Bound for Glory against Team 3D, the Dudley Boys, and if they've got double titles, it will be a cool image.
Yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to be looking at there. And then, of course, we had the teams picked for the men's and the women's Survivor Series-esque matches that will take place at Showdown. On the men's side, Team NXT is captained by Ricky Starks, featuring the TNA World Champion Trick Williams, Javon Evans, and Miles Bourne. They'll take on Team TNA, which is the number 1 contender for the TNA World title, Santana, Frankie Kazarian, the new TNA International Champion, Moose, and there he is, Leon Slater.
Leon Slater, one of the top young talents in the industry. The current X Division champion. He had his first appearance on NXT last night in a tag team match with Javon Evans. Great to see him getting a showing here because he is insanely talented. We've known for a very long time that he's so talented, but I think NXT last night really showed, oh my god, this guy's really, really good, and he will probably steal the show in that 6-man, or the Survivor Series tag match, I should say. On the women's side of things, though, they'll see Team NXT, JC Jane, Sol Ruka, Jada Parker, and Lola Vice take on Team TNA, captained by Kalani Jordan, the current TNA Women's Champion, but also a member of the NXT locker room. We were discussing this on the news of the weekend. We were like, how is this going to go with her being a WWE talent, but she's TNA Women's Champion? She's jumped ship. She is the Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Kurt Angle of this whole thing. She's
she
now
actually
on their
shared
side.
the picture on her Twitter of Steve Austin wearing a WCW t-shirt. So like she is the Steve Austin joining the alliance in this situation.
And she was the captain of that team, picking the inspiration, Cassie Lee and Jessie McKay, and the former Jakara Jackson, Mara Shade. And this will be a fun match to really showcase a lot of the talent that, like, obviously people are familiar with the inspiration. They're familiar with Jakara Jackson in NXT, but like having them all in this one match, there's a lot of star power in there.
There has been a bit of criticism for the women's match in terms of the TNA side. The fact that you got Kalani Jordan leading the team.
WWE.
Yeah, it was WWE, and she's picked the inspiration.
Former WWE talents.
And more predominantly WWE. And Mara Sade, former Jakara Jackson.
Who was a WWE talent. It does showcase how thin maybe the TNA women's division is at the moment, because WWE has been taking a lot of those talents for themselves.
It's been a combo of things.
There's been a few people, Ash by Elegance obviously just having to step away at the weekend. Then we've got the Masha Slamovich situation that's currently ongoing. There's a gap in the talent that they've had to fill there.
But I would say, to play devil's avocado, in terms of those sort of key knockouts talents, obviously some of the big names, for whatever reason, have either moved, been removed, or are now done. You've still got in there Rosemary, who is, I'd argue, like the TNA Knockouts OG.
Yeah.
You've got Danny Luna and Jody Threat on that side as well. You've still got other members of the Elegance brand in there as well. Yeah. Indy Hartwell, who's in a position where she's going to be challenging for the Knockouts title at Bound for Glory. You could have potentially done something, obviously, against somebody who's probably more known with WWE. But there's a story you could tell there. You got Lei Ying Lee, formerly Xia Li in WWE, but has been really crafting her own thing in TNA as well. So there's enough members of that TNA Knockouts locker room that you could have maybe populated it with somebody that's a little bit more effacing, and maybe given an opportunity to somebody like a Danny Luna to step up and show out in a match like that. Rosemary, once again, to feature in something like that, as well as somebody who's been part of the TNA Knockouts locker room for the longest. So I feel like there was some missed opportunity there, but I'm not sure whether this is the first chapter of a long story or whether this is a very rushed final chapter.
That's it. It feels kind of both at the same time. Like they've gone, we should probably do a show. People are expecting a show between us. They've gone, okay, let's do it because something else is on Tuesday the 7th that is going head to head with them, and they want to have a big show, or that week I should say, is going. They want a big show to establish themselves. I feel like we're going to see more of this. I'm surprised that they didn't do like a Worlds Collide show before they did a head-to-head showdown show where it's very much you guys are going head-to-head rather than just here's a mixed card between them. So maybe we'll see that in the future. But yeah, it's weird middle ground of this is the middle chapter, but also feels like the final chapter.
Because there's still like some questions in there. If this is the final chapter, then you've left loads on the table, not just in the Knockouts match, but also the Joe Hendry-shaped elephant in the room.
Yeah, where's he? Where is he kicking about?
Whose side is he on?
Whose
what
side
are you
is
talking
he
about?
on? There's so many questions that need to be answered around it.
Oh, I hope that we get those questions answered. I hope this is the beginning and not the end of that. But that's next week. That's NXT TNA Showdown. Let's talk John Cena. So his final match made official by WWE last night. It is going to be taking place in Washington, D.C., December the 13th. It is a thing that is happening, and that is Saturday. It's going to be a Saturday night's main event.
Saturday night's main event. Yeah, with the branding Cena's last match on the poster. It's in Washington D.C. This is what was rumored for a very, very long time now. After there was some bidding going on, lots of people expected Boston, Massachusetts, Cena's hometown, but no, it's going to be in the nation's capital. It's in Washington D.C. Slightly odd location for Cena because of he's from Boston, so you would expect that to be the location. But then, of course, WWE likes a bidding war at the moment, and Washington D.C. definitely paid more than Boston if they've got the show now. The last match, though, it's not been confirmed who his opponent is, so there's still speculation around who it's going to be against. After he's only got a very limited amount of dates left. He's got Crown Jewel, he's got a Raw on the 10th of November, a Raw on the 17th of November, Survivor Series, and then the last match. who's it going to be against?
You've got very little time to really tell a compelling story, which I think they've been caught short a little bit. Unless they come up with some agreement with John Cena, so he adds maybe a couple of extra dates between now and then. I don't know what time you've got to tell that story other than they go, here's the match, which is a shame because I feel like I'd like at least there to be some kind of story that puts John Cena's match together.
I feel like, and this is just spitballing here, but you could tell a story where you don't really need to announce his opponent ahead of time because it's John Cena and it's John Cena's last match. That's the advertising.
Oh.
John Cena debuted in an open challenge asking someone to step up. Maybe that is how you do it. He comes out, he doesn't know who his last opponent is going to be. He issues the challenge and someone steps up to show that ruthless aggression. And that's how you pass the torch, perhaps.
That's nice.
I'd quite like to see it. I just don't know who you'd put in that spot. I know there's been campaigns for Joe Hendry to be in that spot. I know there's campaigns for Baron Corbin to be in that spot, and that's who I'm campaigning for. Have Baron Corbin be the one to retire Angle and John Cena.
Choice.
It is a choice. But there's a huge roster of people that they could put in that spot, but I think it should be a callback to his first appearance.
And if you want to be there for it, it's time to open your wallet because, oh boy, this will shock you. Ticket prices will make your eyes water. Yeah. Now, if you're not bothered about where you sit and stuff, you can buy standard tickets. They range from $251 to about $3,000 per ticket.
Just $3,000.
Just casual $3,000. But WWE and On Location have released their WWE Champion package, which includes floor seating, a photograph with John Cena. It'll just be like a blank wall.
Yeah. It's a cutout of John Cena.
An exclusive gift, ringside photo ops, premium seating as well at the Undertaker's One Dead Man show the night before. I hope there's a cash equivalent for that.
Yeah.
However, so how much this is going to cost you depends on where on the floor you want to sit. Give us the numbers, Fraser.
Right, okay, so if you want to sit in the fifth row, that's row E on the ramp side, the ticket costs $6,500 per ticket. Second row, row B on the ramp side, costs $9,500 per ticket. Now, finally, the TV side, ringside package, row 1, row A. Make sure you're sitting there with a green shirt with a smiley face on it because it will cost $11,500 per ticket, and I can assure you there will not be a smiley face in your face because you'll need it on the t-shirt. That is an eye-watering amount of money for a front row seat. Granted, you're getting a couple other things, but I don't know if it's worth that much. This is really testing the waters of how much people are willing to pay. We know that people are paying astronomical numbers for WWE's tickets these days. We know WWE touts, we've had an incredible gate for this show. I just don't know if that is sustainable in the long run, if people are actually going to pay that much. Even $3,000 for a ticket is ridiculous.
A lot. I think we've seen it across the board everywhere. And we knew that the tickets for John Cena's final match would be expensive, but I think seeing that number written down, 11,500.
It's 2 months out. How, do they expect people to just have a saving away that's just like, that's my Cena retirement money. That's my 401k, my Cena pension right there.
Honestly, I don't think WWE care how you have the money, because as long as you pay it, they'll keep charging
just put it on a credit card, definitely. That's how you do it. Yeah, Klarna. That's all you need to do. Pay it off in 3. It's ridiculous.
Green shirt guy's going to be remortgaging again, I reckon.
You could go, how many independent shows could you go to for 11,500?
11,500.
Yeah, probably. That's astronomical amounts of money. You could pay that's like half a year's salary for some people on minimum wage.
That's ludicrous.
It's ridiculous.
Support your local indies.
Yeah.
That's if you do anything else, support your local indies. You won't have to charge that much to sit up front.
Just watch it on TV.
Or just watch it on telly as well. That's a nice way
to do it. It's a better view, and you've got a better toilet right there. You can go in the ad break.
The queue for the toilet is far shorter in our house.
The cans of beer are much cheaper as well.
But not completely cheaper.
No.
For the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.